All right, here I am again, Pippi Longstocking, coming to you from my home office. And I just want to share this a couple of places and get on the road with some thought processes today. Let me just put this in here. Again, Facebook changed things on me, it confuses me, which is okay because I'm just often confused. How's everybody today? I hope everybody's having a good day. It's Tuesday. It's sunny here in Connecticut. It can't seem to make up its mind. It's like dark in the morning and sunny, and then it's dark and then it's sunny. Let's just post this. So let's talk about personal development. You know, if you haven't seen, and I'm broadcasting this a couple different places, so depending on where you're seeing it, I started a new Facebook group and kind of a new group, organization, whatever you want to call it. It's called the Society of I Am. And to enter into the Society of I Am, and by the way, if you want to be in it, it's just facebook.com/groups/Society of I Am, or you can search Society of I Am, or at some point I'll put the link here. And in order to join it, you must, agree you're not going to solicit people and bug people, and that you want to work on yourself. And then we asked you to list your favorite personal development book. So it's been very interesting to see. We have coming up on 600 members. And it's been very interesting to see the response from folks to this. And hi, everybody. Hi, Kara, Sherry, Jenny, everybody else. And definitely give me some thumbs up and likes and all that other good stuff. I got to get into the habit of asking for them. I thought if I wore braids, you might like me better. I look like a little girl. Anyway, it's been interesting because some people, their instant reaction is, oh, there's just too many to list. Other people, the one that I'm seeing the most is Think and Grow Rich. I think it's the one that people are most familiar with. A lot of people are naming business books, which aren't really personal development per se. They're more like business strategy books. And then there's a whole bunch of people that say, I don't have one, or haven't even thought about having one. And so I think it's kind of interesting. And I'm here to give you my perspective, which is probably different than a lot of what you've heard out there. And again, this is my perspective. I'll put on disclaimers. This is not the opinion of my people I affiliate with. It's not the opinion of my uplines, my sidelines, the people who I sell their products. This is my opinion, and I've been doing this for 20 years. We've heard that network marketing, for those of you that are in network marketing, is just a personal development plan with personal development with a pay plan attached to it. And we do have to grow, and we do have to become more. But what's really interesting is the people that I have loved listening to the most in my life are generally people who are following their intuition, right? They're hearing something inside of them, something that they know, and then they go out and they read something, or they go and check things out in order to explain it to themselves. One of my favorites is Gary Vaynerchuk. He's hardly read anything and written a bunch of books. My mentor, Joe Schroeder. Joe Schroeder was learning disabled and could barely read a book and wrote tons of books and has read everything under the sun, from personal development to old school 100-year-old books to the Bible to, very, very well-read man. And he taught me a bunch of things. I like to listen to different spiritual leaders that are self-taught. They're gurus. They're people that, and I don't mean guru like the marketing guru. I'm not talking Grant Cardone here. I'm talking about people that they have an innate understanding of how humans move, how nature moves. And I suppose maybe I was one of those people when I got into the industry. I picked up books to explain what I already felt, what I already knew. I've picked up books to try to learn the rules of the game. The first time I heard about personal development, because nobody in my family read a book. I love you all, in case you watch this. I mean, later on, sisters did, but my parents weren't really, readers. I was working at a college, and my dean did a little gathering, and he was reading from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I asked if I could borrow the book, and he gave it to me. That was my very first personal development book. So there was only one problem that I had. And this is why I want to bust this out for you, because a lot of people, their self-image suffers because they think they're not enough because they haven't read all these books. I had, and still have, learning disabilities. I'm old enough that they weren't diagnosed at the time, young enough that I know what they are. Okay. I have no diagnosis, but I am 100% ADHD or something. Okay. I am easily moved around. I'm a multitasker. I know that's so bad. Well, that's how I work. I start a letter, I go do something else, I come back and I finish the letter, and then I go do something else, and then I send the letter. It's just the way my brain works. So for me, reading fiction in school, like novels and stuff, was almost impossible. Okay. I cheated. I'm going to, don't tell my English teachers. They're probably all dead by now. I cheated. Okay. I was a Cliff Notes girl. I was all kinds of things. I watched the movies because I could not read a novel to save my life. Now, give me Shakespeare or something like that. I couldn't read that. Forget it. Okay. So I struggled with with fiction. Now, what's interesting is nonfiction, I read very easily and always have. So if I was interested in a topic, let's say I was interested in anything, home decoration or anything I was interested in, learning how woodworking or something. Back in the day, I was very crafty. I could read book after book after book on it. Anything nonfiction I can read, anything fiction I struggled with. And then when I got into some really heady, light personal development, like Who Moved My Cheese and stuff, was easy for me. But then when we got into some of the heavier stuff, it's very hard, and I was very challenged. So I learned a couple tricks. Okay. Learned a couple tricks. One, my teacher told me, he said, you don't have to read a book in its entirety to get something out of it. Which I was like, what do you mean? My English teacher told me I had to read the whole book cover to cover. He said, you're allowed to pick up a book and read a few pages at a time and let it swirl around in your head and see what you get. And I do that all the time, by the way. I go downstairs to my bookshelf and I have lots of books, and I run my hand along it and see what feels like it's supposed to talk to me today. And I open it up to a random page and see what the book tells me. Hey, Brian, how are you? I was just talking about some stuff with you guys just recently. Big stuff going on tomorrow night. So I found that I could pick up a book and read a little bit. And that was really helpful to me. Next, he told me, you can read more than one book at a time, which I thought was crazy. I could have one on my night table, one downstairs in the living room, and I could keep one in my bag. What are you, nuts? Then I also learned about electronic books because ebooks came out and stuff, and I got a Kindle app on my phone. So I have Kindle on my phone, on my iPad, on my computer. So I'm reading multiple books in different places, and I'm only reading a couple pages at a time. So while I've consumed the ideas, I'm going to give you more cheats in a minute. Well, I've consumed tons and tons and tons of books. I have flipped through them. I haven't necessarily consumed them all cover to cover in order. What I'm looking for is information that's useful and helpful to me. Okay. So I'm also looking for things that document or explain to me the things that I feel that I intuitively understand or I intuitively know. I think I was an attraction marketer before attraction marketing was born. I think I understood certain things. It was just a gift. And then books were written and different things came out to explain it to me scientifically or whatever. I read things like Cialdini, Influence. Try reading that book, Influence. That is a heavy duty. I think I have it right here. I lent it to a friend, then I took it back from him. He'll probably be mad at me when he sees me holding it. Where'd it go? It wasn't here. Here it is. This is a textbook. This is heavy duty stuff, and yet really fascinating if you're into copywriting, marketing, anything like that. I can read other things very late. Now, audiobooks, big time, Audible. I'm always on Audible. I'm always listening to something. And I do flip around in Audible as well. I get in the car and I look and I go, what am I in the mood for? Am I in the mood for Wayne Dyer today? Am I in the mood for Gary Vaynerchuk? Who am I in the mood for? What am I into? Do I want to listen to, the Bible? I have the Bible on audio. Do I want to listen to, Stephen Covey? That's heavier stuff. What do I want to listen to? So I'm all over the place. I also have an app on my phone. I have my phone here. I think it's called Blinkist, but I'll tell you. I bought Blinkist off of a discount. I have this like discount dealio. If you want the link to it, ask me. Not for Blinkist, but for the discount dealio. They put out software and different things. I bought Blinkist, and it's like synopsises of all the big books, right? Synopsis. It's like 10 pages. It gives you all the core ideas of a book. So everybody's talking about particular book, like Girl Wash Your Face became a very popular book. I had mixed feelings on the book. I listened to the audiobook. Mixed feelings on that and the author. Oh, that's a story for another day. Everybody was talking about it, so I read the synopsis to decide whether I wanted to check out the book. I decided to go audio. So Blinkist, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, but I'll check, and if you want me to get you access to it, let me know. Very inexpensive way to cover a lot of content at once. For me, personal development is about sorting until I find something that's helpful to me. And then when I find an author that I dig, I will read and go through and listen to, whatever format, their whole body of work, often multiple times. So my knowledge is wide, right, from scanning, but it's very deep with certain authors, right? Wide. I'll know lots. I'll know what all the hot books are, what's on the bestseller list, what everybody's talking about, so I can hold a conversation, but deep on the things that move me, that are speaking into me, into my consciousness, into my soul, into my best self. Now, I'm kind of a hardcore girl. I like things that are a little bit more in your face, you know? If it's too fluffy or too warm, or it's a little hard for me to consume. If it's straight up, straightforward, I like it. I also happen to like books that are read by the author, especially in marketing stuff, like Seth Godin. If you guys haven't done any, that's not really personal development, it's more marketing. Seth Godin narrates his own books. They're wonderful. Okay, they're wonderful. Earl Nightingale, right? I was a Jim Rohn. A lot of you guys have seen my pictures with Jim. I got to hang out and work with Jim, but I have listened to every piece of Jim imaginable. I like to listen to him better than read him because I like his voice. He has a hypnotic voice. Wayne Dyer, I like his voice. So these are just some of the tricks I've used. But what I want you most of all to know, that this whole preaching that leaders are readers and you're not enough unless you read, and everybody puts pictures of their books, and it's like this whole posturing and pecking order. And it's 2020 now. I want us all to get out of this. I have to keep up with the Joneses. Okay. And I want us to get into learning about who we are, what our strengths are, what our beliefs are. That's why I started the Society of I Am. Okay. If we sit around all day and compare ourselves, like, I'm not a good reader. Okay. I'm learning disabled. I don't use it as a crutch because I think I'm very smart. But that's not my jam. And I'm not going to sit and compare myself to somebody else who just told me that they read a book a week or a book every 3 days or whatever. God bless them. That's not how I learn. The other thing that you guys want to realize, and I'll wrap it up, we don't want to go too long, but you're going to see me at a lot more talking about a lot of things. And I really appreciate it. If you find any of these things helpful, pass them around, share them. Maybe someone is feeling bad about themselves because they're not into personal development, or they haven't read enough books, or maybe people feel that they're not enough because they're not good readers. Guys, this industry attracts a lot of people that don't fit into traditional education. I want you to hear that. This industry naturally attracts a lot of people that don't fit into traditional education. And Jim Rohn said, traditional education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. I think I probably misquoted him there. It's not the exact words, but you guys get it. Self-education. Self-education comes in so many different ways, whether it's webinars, whether it's audios, whether it's videos. You know, everybody learns differently. And that's the last thing I want to give you. I am trained to be a teacher. Many moons ago, I went through college to be a teacher. Everybody learns differently. One person learns better through hearing. Another person learns better through seeing. Another person has to touch things. They're kinesthetic. You know, there's all different learning modalities and learning styles. And I want you to, for this decade, okay, this year and this decade, can you give yourself a break, decide that you're a good kid, and love yourself enough to work on finding out what is your best way to learn? Who are your best teachers? Okay, go seek. I always saw, if I listen to someone, everybody said, oh, they're so awesome, and I don't resonate with them. I can think of one major marketing guy out there. Everybody thinks he's the bomb. I don't like him. He doesn't, he grates me. I don't enjoy his style, his speaking mannerisms, his philosophies. I don't listen to him. Doesn't mean he's bad. It doesn't mean everybody else is wrong. It just means he's not for me. Okay? Who's for you? Who are your teachers? Are you seeking them instead of listening to what everybody tells you they should be? Do you have an upline that's your style and an upline that's not your style? I did that when I was back in the day at the big company with the H, right? The H, right? H. I used to go to meetings based upon who was speaking, because there were some speakers I loved and they lifted me up and they made me want to go to work. And other speakers, the way they spoke made me feel small and not enough. Were they wrong? No, it's just their personalities. So learn what is your style, what is their style, who's the teacher for you, who's the speaker for you, who do you want to be listening to, what do you want to be reading, and what's the best way for you to take in information? You know what? I don't think leaders are readers. I think leaders consume information, but more importantly, I think leaders trust themselves. Trust themselves, and then they use information to help augment what they know are their strengths and talents. So that's my take on it, my opinion. I feel like Andy Rooney, which shows my age too. This is 60 minutes, you know, that's my opinion. You guys let me know what you think, put comments, share this, spread it around. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're not in the Society of I Am, please come in there, fill out the form you do need to fill out and answer those questions. And I don't care if you tell me I hate reading, that's fine. But I want to see you in the group, want to see you on our lives. And, you know, if you're not on my email list, dianehochman.com, you want to be there. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Everybody have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.